Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is Anita Anand with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses doctors on National Doctors' Day, thanks them for the services during the pandemic. Health sector budget doubled to more than 2 lakh crore rupees for creating modern medical infrastructure. Digital India is sadhana of Atmanirbhar Bharat and slogan for a stronger India in the 21st century, says Prime Minister. Country's biggest tax reform GST system completes 4 years today. One Nation, One Ration Card has been implemented with the help of Digital India, says Prime Minister. Over 33 crore 57 lakh vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 96.97%, 48,786 new cases reported in the last 24 hours. India and Pakistan exchange list of civilian prisoners and fishermen in their custody. Thailand welcomes its first quarantine-free tourists back to the island of Phuket. AIR News begins Olympic quiz this evening, and in Wimbledon tennis, Sania Mirza and her American partner advanced to the second round in the women's doubles. On the National Doctors' Day, we salute the doctors for the selfless service for humanity during the COVID-19 pandemic. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise the young listeners to get vaccinated and also to help others to get vaccinated. We also advise the listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the government is making efforts to create robust medical infrastructure in the country. He said over 2 lakh crore rupees have been allocated in this year's budget for creating modern medical infrastructure. While addressing the doctors on National Doctors' Day today, Mr. Modi said a credit guarantee scheme worth 50,000 crore rupees has been introduced to strengthen the health infrastructure in the country. He said more than 22,000 crore rupees have been allocated for creating child healthcare infrastructure. He said new AIIMS and medical colleges have been set up and medical seats have been increased in the last 7 years. Appreciating the doctors and medical fraternity's role in tackling the COVID-19 pandemic, the Prime Minister said doctors, healthcare and frontline workers have saved many lives during the pandemic. He said India's position is better than several developed countries in terms of per million death and infection rate during the pandemic. Mr. Modi said doctors are dealing with the challenges posed by the mutant coronavirus through the experiences and suggesting innovative measures.
कोरोना से लड़ाई में जितनी चुनौतियां आई, हमारे वैज्ञानिकों, डॉक्टर्स ने उतने ही समाधान तलाशे, प्रभावी दवाइयां बनाई. आज हमारे डॉक्टर्स ही कोरोना के प्रोटोकॉल्स बना रहे हैं, उन्हें लागू करवाने में मदद कर रहे हैं. ये वायरस नया है, इसमें नए नए म्यूटेशंस भी हो रहे हैं, लेकिन हमारे डॉक्टर्स की नॉलेज, उनके एक्सपीरियंस, उनके अनुभव वायरस के इन खतरों और चैलेंजेस का मिलकर मुकाबला कर रहे हैं.
The Prime Minister said the government is committed to the safety and security of the doctors. The Prime Minister paid tribute to the doctors who lost their lives during the COVID-19 pandemic. He thanked the doctors on behalf of 130 crore Indians for their services during the pandemic.
आज जब देश कोरोना से इतनी बड़ी जंग लड़ रहा है, तो डॉक्टर्स ने दिन रात मेहनत करके लाखों लोगों का जीवन बचाया है. ये पुण्य कार्य करते हुए देश के कई डॉक्टर्स ने अपना जीवन भी न्यौछावर कर दिया. मैं जीवन आहूत करने वाले इन सभी डॉक्टर्स को अपनी विनम्र श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूं और परिवार के प्रति अपनी संवेदना व्यक्त करता हूं.
The Prime Minister called upon the doctors to inspire the people to get vaccinated and adopt COVID-appropriate behavior. He commended the medical fraternity for spreading awareness about yoga. The Prime Minister praised the doctors for doing evidence-based studies on the benefits of yoga for dealing with post-COVID complications. Mr. Modi also suggested that studies on yoga could be published in international journals. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said the positive experience that Afghanistan Ambassador Farid Mahmoodzai had with an Indian doctor has the essence of India-Afghanistan's relations. The ambassador had posted a moving account in Twitter of his visit to an Indian doctor who refused to charge him upon learning that his patient was the Afghan ambassador to India, saying that he will not charge a brother.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said that 6 years of Digital India program marks rapid strides that the country has taken in adoption of technology. Mr. Modi said during the last 6 years, people's lives have been transformed with Digital India. Addressing a function to mark 6 years of the government's flagship program, Digital India, he said, the vision of minimum government and maximum governance will be fulfilled with the help of Digital India.
मिनिमम गवर्नमेंट मैक्सिमम गवर्नेंस के सिद्धांतों पर चलते हुए सरकार और जनता के बीच, सिस्टम और सुविधाओं के बीच, समस्याओं और सर्विस के बीच गैप कम करना, इनके बीच की मुश्किलें खत्म करना और जन सामान्य की सुविधा बढ़ाना ये समय की मांग रहा है और इसलिए डिजिटल इंडिया सामान्य नागरिक को सुविधा और उनके एम्पावरमेंट का एक बहुत सशक्त माध्यम है.
Mr. Modi said Digital India is the sadhana of Atmanirbhar Bharat and is the slogan for becoming a stronger India in the 21st century. The Prime Minister said DigiLocker is a good example of how effective Digital India has been. Now all important documents, including school and college documents, Aadhaar, PAN and voter ID card, can now be stored easily and securely in DigiLocker. He said that Digital India has played a key role in providing healthcare facilities to different parts of the country as platforms developed for online education to medicine is benefiting crores of Indians. Mr. Modi added that be it driving license, birth certificate, paying electricity and water bill, filing income tax return and other works have now become very easy and fast. Talking about the benefits of Digital India during COVID, the Prime Minister said people from remote areas are getting benefits of e-Sanjeevani, especially during the pandemic. He added Digital India and CoWIN are helping the country during vaccination. CoWIN has also attracted interest from several countries across the globe, saying that Digital India mission has given more focus on the scale and speed of infrastructure development. He said around 2.5 lakh common services centers in villages are working. With the help of Digital India, the concept of One Nation, One Ration card is being implemented, said the Prime Minister. The Goods and Services Tax GST system, the country's biggest tax reform, completes 4 years today. During these years, several key policy initiatives were taken by the government to make the GST system and compliance mechanisms simple, transparent and technology-driven. GST is a remarkable example of cooperative federalism wherein all the decisions have been taken in GST Council through consensus. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said GST has been a milestone in the economic landscape of India. Mr. Modi said it has decreased the number of taxes, compliance burden and overall tax burden on the common man while significantly increasing transparency, compliance and overall collection. The Finance Ministry said the government will honour 54,439 taxpayers.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that enhanced revenue collection in recent months should now be the new normal. She expressed happiness over the buoyant tax collections which crossed 1 lakh crore rupees for 8 months in a row with a record GST collection of 1.41 lakh crore rupees in the month of April this year. On the 4th anniversary of the introduction of GST today, the Union Finance Minister said that it is a matter of great satisfaction that the nation has overcome 2 waves of COVID-19 pandemic and provided stability to this new tax regime.
Despite the second wave of COVID-19 pandemic and strict lockdown restrictions, the business community of Punjab has shown remarkable resilience by not only complying with the return filing requirements but also paying their GST dues in a timely manner during the month of June 2021. Resultantly, the GST revenue collected during the month stood at 1,087 crore rupees, which was 869.66 crore rupees during the month of June 2020.
Home Minister Amit Shah today said that it is the vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi that the system can be changed only when its machinery is trained according to the requirements of today. Interacting with the probationary officers of the 72nd batch of the Indian Police Service through video conferencing, Mr. Shah said a system is very important for any organization. He added that the seed should be planted in training itself to remove the problems so that a person can be made more and more responsible and dutiful. India has administered over 27,60,000 COVID vaccine doses to eligible beneficiaries in the last 24 hours. With this, more than 33 crore 57 lakh vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Union Health Ministry in a statement said the country has reported 48,786 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. The active case load in the country has further declined and reached the level of 5,23,257. The active cases constitute 1.72% of the total reported cases so far. The ministry further added that daily recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the 49th consecutive day. The country has registered further improvement in the recovery rate, which has now increased to 96.97%. Health Ministry has said that more than 32 crore 92 lakh vaccine doses have been provided by the centre to states and union territories so far. These vaccine doses have been provided through centres free of cost channel and through direct state procurement category. The ministry said that more than 1 crore 24 lakh balance and unutilized COVID-19 vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories to be administered. More than 94 lakh 66,000 vaccine doses are in the pipeline and will be received by the states and union territories within the next 3 days.
The government has said that India's national COVID vaccination program is built on scientific and epidemiological evidence, WHO guidelines and global best practices. The Health Ministry said the vaccination program is anchored in systematic end-to-end planning and is implemented through effective and efficient participation of states and union territories and the people at large. It said government's commitment to the vaccination program has been unwavering and proactive from the beginning. The ministry said that there have been some media reports alleging that India's vaccine strategy is neglecting the older and vulnerable population. The Health Ministry has clarified that the COVID vaccination program gives priority to strengthening the country's healthcare system by protecting the professionals, health and frontline workers, as well as the most vulnerable population groups. A total of 93 new cases of coronavirus infection were reported in the national capital during the last 24 hours. The Delhi government said during the same period, 111 people recovered and 4 deaths were reported in the city. Presently, the total number of active cases of COVID-19 in the national capital is 1,357. A total of over 1,46,000 beneficiaries were inoculated for COVID-19 in the last 24 hours in Delhi. With this, over 79 lakh beneficiaries have been vaccinated so far. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman visited the Boeing Field Hospital for COVID patients in Bengaluru today. The 100-bed hospital, built under private partnership, provides ICU and HDU units with other essential infrastructure. The Finance Minister said that such hospitals with private partnership will help in dealing with the pandemic, especially when a third wave is being predicted. More from our Bengaluru correspondent.
Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is on a 2-day visit to Bengaluru. Today she visited the 100-bed Yelahanka Hospital, financially supported by Boeing India, Selco Foundation, Doctors for You and Karnataka Power Corporation, which has given its premises to the hospital, built in just 20 days. After the visit, the Finance Minister assured states the demand for COVID vaccines will be fully met by the central government.
Every state gets allocation as per the intensity of the attack, as per the density of population and the number of vulnerable population. And the central government supplies it well in advance so that they can announce as to how much is being given 7 days prior to the availability.
On GST compensation to the states, the finance minister said that a special session will be called to discuss the issue and that central government is committed to resolve the issue.
As regards GST, there will be a session. Today is GST day, incidentally. They have promised to hold a special session in which we'll discuss about all GST compensation related.
As part of the visit, Union Finance Minister will visit Helix Biotechnology Park in Electronic City tomorrow. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
Kerala witnessed a hike in the COVID numbers as it confirms 12,868 new COVID positive cases today. The test positivity rate is 10.3% at present. Following the COVID spread, the newly introduced COVID restrictions and concessions came into effect in the state. The entire state is divided into 4 major zones based on the TPR figures, and regulations have been imposed accordingly. Meanwhile, the state will reel under complete lockdown on Saturdays and Sundays.
You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses doctors on National Doctors' Day, thanks them for their services during the pandemic. Health sector budget doubled to more than 2 lakh crore rupees for creating modern medical infrastructure. Digital India is sadhana of Atmanirbhar Bharat and slogan for a stronger India in the 21st century, says Prime Minister. Country's biggest tax reform GST system completes 4 years today. One nation, one ration card is being implemented with the help of Digital India, says Prime Minister. Over 33 crore 57 lakh vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 96.97%. 48,786 new cases reported in the last 24 hours. India and Pakistan exchange list of civilian prisoners and fishermen in their custody. Thailand welcomes its first quarantine-free tourists back to island of Phuket. AIR News begins Olympic quiz this evening, and in Wimbledon tennis, Sania Mirza and her American partner advanced to second round in women's doubles. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
The Centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The child helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. Ayush COVID-19 Counselling Helpline number is 14443 and MyGov WhatsApp Help Desk number is 9013151515.
Welcome back. You're listening to the evening news. India and Pakistan to exchange the list of civilian prisoners and fishermen in the custody through diplomatic channels simultaneously at New Delhi and Islamabad. This is in keeping with the provisions of the 2008 agreement, under which such lists are exchanged every year on the 1st of January and the 1st of July. External Affairs Ministry said India handed over a list of 271 Pakistani civilian prisoners and 74 fishermen in India's custody to Pakistan. Pakistan has shared list of 51 civilian prisoners and 558 fishermen in its custody who are Indians or are believed to be Indians. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh today held talks with his Vietnamese counterpart, Senior Lieutenant General Phan Van Giang. In a series of tweets, Mr. Singh said, India and Vietnam have a strong and effective relationship and New Delhi attaches great importance to the bilateral defence cooperation with that country. He added that both countries share a long-standing tradition of helping each other in difficult times and have achieved substantial progress in defense industry cooperation in recent years. The minister also said the two countries continue to make forward movement in overcoming the challenges posed by COVID-19.
Air Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary today took over as the Vice Chief of the Air Staff. The Air Marshal was commissioned in the fighter stream of the IAF in 1982.
Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Minister Narendra Singh Tomar today launched the Crop Insurance Awareness Campaign for Fasal Bima Yojana during the Crop Insurance Week. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Tomar said that Fasal Bima Yojana aims to provide security cover to each farmer. He also announced that the scheme achieved milestone figure of 95,000 crore of claims paid to farmers. National Investigation Agency NIA has conducted searches in Hyderabad at the residence of two arrested accused persons in Darbhanga railway station blast case. The searches led to the recovery and seizures of various incriminating material and multiple digital devices. The items recovered from the premises of the accused persons contained various documents pertaining to procedure for fabrication of IED and materials used for making of IEDs. NIA had arrested the two Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists yesterday from Hyderabad. Both key accused originally hailed from Shamli in Uttar Pradesh. A case was registered on the 17th of this month over the blast in a parcel at Darbhanga railway station, and later NIA had taken up the investigation. Thailand has welcomed its first quarantine-free tourists back to the island of Phuket as the country tries to reboot its tourism industry. About 250 people, mainly from the Middle East, were expected to arrive on 4 flights today as part of the Phuket Sandbox scheme. None of the arrivals need to quarantine, but they cannot travel to the mainland within 14 days.
The Sensex and the Nifty today witnessed modest losses. Both stocks fell around 0.3% amid negative cues from the other Asian equity markets. The rupee weakened 23 paise against the US dollar, a report from the Business World.
The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange lost 164 points to close at 52,319. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange fell 42 points to deal at 15,680. The rupee weakened 23 paisa to close at 74 rupees and 56 paisa against the US dollar. Gold was trading at 47,070 rupees per 10 gram. Silver prices also climbed 760 rupees to trade around 68,900 rupees per kilogram. And in intraday trade, Brent crude prices rose to trade beyond $76 per barrel mark. Brent was trading around $76.10 per barrel. Anubha Rohatgi for All India Radio. In the run-up to the Tokyo Olympics, the News Services Division of All India Radio in its Sports Scan program is broadcasting every day Olympics quiz with AIR News. Olympics quiz Akashvani Samachar ke saath in Hindi. Every day a question related to Olympics will be asked at the beginning and closing of the program. To participate in this program, listeners can send the replies by email on airsportscan@gmail.com. The first correct answer received through email will be adjudged the winner of the quiz. The name of the winner will be announced in Sports Scan program the next day. It will also be flashed on AIR Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. The Sports Authority of India will provide India team jersey to the winner. So tune in to the Sports Scan program every day at 7:20 p.m. on FM Gold and on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official.
With around 22 days remaining for the start of the Tokyo Olympics, All India Radio brings a special series on India's medal prospects at the sporting extravaganza. Today we will talk about the young gymnast of West Bengal, Pranati Nayak.
Pranati Nayak is representing India in gymnastics at the Tokyo Olympics. Pranati started her gymnastic career from Kolkata in 2004 despite many challenges. Pranati made a big breakthrough in her gymnastics journey when she made the country proud by bagging a bronze medal at the 2019 Asian Championships in Mongolia. Pranati secured her Olympic qualification through continental quota. In an exclusive interview with AIR News, Pranati shared her first reaction on her qualification.
अच्छा लग रहा है सर बहुत कि मैं ओलंपिक खेलने के लिए जा रही हूँ और इंडिया का रिप्रेजेंट करूंगी.
Pranati appeals to the listeners of All India Radio.
हाँ, मैं कहना चाहूंगी कि मैं वहाँ पर जाके अपना बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस देना चाहती हूँ. आप सब लोग मेरे को आशीर्वाद दो कि मैं अपना बेस्ट दे पाऊँ.
Pranati is all set to write a new chapter in gymnastics at the Tokyo Olympics, and the entire country in one voice wish her all the best. Siddharth Singh, Sports Desk.
In Wimbledon tennis, world number one Novak Djokovic entered the third round on slick grass, beating Kevin Anderson. Kei Nishikori of Japan ousted Alexei Popyrin for his 100th Grand Slam match win. In the women's section, second seed Aryna Sabalenka of Belarus overcame British wildcard Katie Bottler to reach third round. Bianca Andreescu of Canada was shocked by France's world number 58 Elise Cornet.
Indian tennis player Sania Mirza made a winning return to the Wimbledon 2021 as she stormed into the women's doubles round 2 at the championships in London today. This was Sania's 121st career win. The Indo-American pair will now face the winners of the match between Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, Elena Rybakina and Veronika Kudermetova, Elena Vesnina in round 2. In Meghalaya, heavy rains across the Garo Hills region over the past few days have severely affected many parts of the region, with many bridges and roads are becoming inaccessible. The incessant rain has affected all across the region, with the districts of South Garo Hills and West Garo Hills being the worst affected. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will likely to face thunderstorm with the rain. The temperature will hover between 31 and 40 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. The minimum temperature will be 26 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 32 degrees. Chennai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Kolkata will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The city will observe a minimum temperature of 28 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 33 degrees. Srinagar will experience partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Jammu will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The minimum temperature will be 28 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 41 degrees. Leh is expected to have generally cloudy sky. The minimum and maximum temperature will be between 9 and 27 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperature will hover between 16 and 35 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad sky will be partly cloudy. The minimum temperature will be 19 degrees Celsius and maximum will be around 31 degrees. Itanagar will experience generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. Imphal will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Shillong will experience generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Temperature will hover between 16 and 23 degrees Celsius. Aizawl will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Kohima is expected to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The minimum and maximum temperature will be between 17 and 26 degrees Celsius. Dehradun will face generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. The minimum temperature will be 22 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 33 degrees. Chandigarh will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The temperature is likely to hover between 30 and 41 degrees Celsius. Hyderabad is likely to have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature will be 24 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 35 degrees. Ahmedabad will have generally cloudy sky. The minimum temperature will be 28 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 37 degrees. Patna will have partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature will be 28 degrees Celsius, and the maximum will be around 34 degrees. And Guwahati will have generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. On the National Doctors' Day, we salute the doctors for the selfless service for humanity during the COVID-19 pandemic. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses doctors on National Doctors' Day, thanks them for their services during the pandemic. Health sector budget doubled to more than 2 lakh crore rupees for creating modern medical infrastructure. Digital India is the sadhana of Atmanirbhar Bharat and slogan for a stronger India in the 21st century, says Prime Minister. Country's biggest tax reform GST system completes 4 years today. One nation, one ration card has been implemented with the help of Digital India, says Prime Minister. Over 33 crore 57 lakh vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 96.97%. 48,786 new cases reported in the last 24 hours. India and Pakistan exchange a list of civilian prisoners and fishermen in their custody. Thailand welcomes its first quarantine-free tourist back to island of Phuket. AIR News begins Olympic quiz this evening. And in Wimbledon tennis, Sania Mirza and the American partner advanced to the second round in the women's doubles. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.